Hey, it's Whitney back with another live video as part of the Use It or Lose It Spring Cleaning Challenge, which is happening every day around 5 p.m. here on this channel. And it's part for April 2018 was the other thing I was trying to think of to mention. Welcome back. If you're not familiar with this, there is a link to it down below. You can sign up to join this free challenge in which I'm challenging you and myself to tidy up your home, to clean, to organize, so that you can bring more joy to your life. You can get away clutter physically and mentally from your life so that you can really feel your best every single day. This is day 23 of the challenge. I am having a phenomenal time. It has truly been magical every day. I feel better. I feel like my life is getting better every day. I'm getting clearer. So the clutter, just moving it around out of my life or figuring out where things need to go, making sure I'm using things, feels so great. So I really encourage you to join this if you haven't yet. You sign up down below. There's a link. All you need to give me is your name and your email address. You'll get a daily email from me with inspiration, with lessons that I'm learning. You'll get these daily videos plus an archive of all of them if you haven't watched them all yet. And you also get to join a private Facebook group where you can connect with me and other people. So I think that's really cool because there's so many other like-minded people. I know many of you want to create more community in your life, and you can just meet some truly phenomenal people in that group. So today is day 23 of the challenge. It is ending in about 7 days, which feels like it's happening so fast. You know, 30 days can feel very daunting when you look at it from the outside, when you haven't begun it. And then in the beginning, it takes some time to get into the rhythm of it. I did a 30-day yoga challenge in January of this year, and I remember feeling the same way, where at the beginning I was like, wow, the 30 days of yoga every single day, it could feel like a lot, and it was hard to fit into my life at first. And same thing with this challenge, you know, I was like, do I even need 30 days to tidy up my home? The answer is yes, although there is a principle for this, like whatever time you give a project is usually how much time it will take. So if you give yourself a shorter amount of time than you think you need, you'll usually accomplish it a lot faster. So I will say that I probably didn't actually need 30 days. I probably could have accomplished most of this in about a week, maybe a week and a half. But it was nice to have that 30 days because it didn't feel like it was taking over my life. So I hope those of you who are joining the challenge, who have already joined, are feeling the same way, that 30 days really was a good amount of time. And it also shows that it can be done. This is maybe like a baby steps type of a challenge, or if you've already done some tidying, cleaning, organizing, adding on to that, doing even more, thinking of more ways that you can get more organized, more ways that you can clear things out of your life and bring in more magic, have more room for that magic. It's been so extraordinary for me. Every day of this challenge, my life feels like it's just getting better and better. Amazing things are happening. My mind feels a lot clearer. My heart feels clearer. I just feel so alive. And I'm so grateful to be doing this challenge alongside you. I just really decided to do this on a whim, and it has been just such an incredible experience. So, a few things I want to share with you. Try and remember what they are. Well, first of all, what we're going to do today is continue going through my kitchen. So I can't remember if this is the third or fourth video I've done on my kitchen. It's taking me some time, even though it's a small space. There's a lot in here, and I just knew it was a lot, so it feels kind of daunting. For example, like my tea collection feels a little bit out of hand, and I started working on that a few days ago, and I'm going to try to finish that today in this video. I don't know if that sounds really silly. I actually have another section I'm just realizing. So what I want to do is work through this cabinet right here. So the middle section has a bunch of like superfood powders and things like that. The top section has a bunch of teas, and the bottom section I did in a past video. So that feels good. And since I organized that section of this cabinet, I have been able to find things so much more faster, right? And I also know what's in there, so I'm using it more, which is the whole point of having things. If this challenge has taught me a really big lesson, it's been to use what you have before you acquire other things. And that's why I call this challenge the Use It or Lose It challenge. That was the biggest inspiration for me, is that I wanted to just check in on what I had. And I have so much stuff. My place is so small and I don't buy that much, but I acquire a lot. And I've talked about this in the past, but just in case you're kind of new to the challenge, a lot of the stuff that I get for free. And that's a wonderful element of the work that I do with Eco Vegan Gal. But it's also a bit of a challenge because I'm learning to say no more, but for a lot of my career, I've said yes to more than I can really handle. And so I'm being sent a ton of stuff, and now I'm just, every time I'm sent something, I'm like, do I really need this? I really want to think about, why am I receiving this? What is this doing for me, for the planet, for other people and animals? And it's, we live in such an abundant time. So there's just so much around us that we can experience, that we can say yes to. And this challenge is just having me check into myself more. Another thing that I'm doing right now, which is bringing me a ton of joy, is going through everybody I'm following on Instagram one by one and really looking at their profiles to decide if these accounts are bringing me joy, they're adding value to my life. Instagram and social media can feel like a lot of clutter. It definitely does for me. And I actually have found myself for a while now avoiding looking at my Instagram feed because I don't always like the posts that I see there. Some of the posts I see, I feel weigh me down. They're not really adding value. I see things that maybe I fall into that comparison trap, which many of us know all too well, where I see what somebody else is doing and I wish I was doing that too. I wish I had their body. I wish I had their love life. I wish I had their home. I wish I had their traveling schedule. I wish, on and on and on. And there are times where I see people and they trigger maybe something in me that doesn't feel great. And I feel like, I'm not really into that type of lifestyle or that type of post. So this isn't adding to me. It feels like it's weighing me down. So one thing I've been doing over the past few days, I think I started this mid last week, is just going through literally every single account. And I was following I think 3,700 accounts. Now I'm down to just about 2,000. So I've really done a big purge. And that's taught me so many lessons. I feel like I could do a whole separate video on that. And I actually have talked about this in the past video on another one of my channels a while back, but I want to bring that up because this spring cleaning challenge is inspiring me in ways I never expected it to. And I'm just really getting clear on what I want in my life. And I hope that this video and all the videos I've done throughout this challenge have inspired you to do the same thing, because magic truly does happen when you let things go. And when you appreciate what you have, when you're more grateful for it. And it's really hard to appreciate what you have when you don't even know what you have. So let's dive into what I have in my kitchen. Another thing that people seem to be enjoying about these videos is just seeing the things that I have, because, even though I do a lot of product reviews, I love talking about products, I still have so many things that I've never mentioned to you before. So this challenge has also been a cool way for me to be like, hey, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I really like this product, or I've had this product, I've never even tried it. So you get a little peek into that life too. And I just want to say hi to the people that are watching live. I have Steve Vegas who says, yoga is the answer, no tea is the answer. I agree on both sides. Yoga has really, really improved my life. Tea I love so much. I just had some green tea. I was feeling pretty tired before I started recording this video, and now I feel much more awake and full of energy. And Lainey said, took me all day to catch up with your challenge, but I have a very small apartment now, so it wasn't too bad. That's great, Lainey. I'm so glad. If you've watched all the videos and read all the emails, I hope that they've been inspirational. Those are going to stay there. They're going to be there indefinitely, so you can always go back to the emails. You can go back to the videos whenever you need some inspiration and some tips on how to do this in your own life. So that's one of the advantages of signing up. You'll be able to sign up for this challenge until probably the first week of May 2018. So I hope that you'll sign up, even if you're going to put this off into another time. I do that all the time. I sign up for things that I don't intend on using now, although I would encourage you to mainly say yes to things and sign up for things that you're going to use as soon as possible, if not now. Because another thing in terms of clutter, we can have a lot of digital clutter in our life. And one thing I'm working on is really finishing a project before I do something else versus collecting projects to do someday. my to-do list is way too out of hand, and I would need to rein things in a lot of ways in my life, and this challenge is helping me do that. So let's dive into the stuff in my kitchen. So I'm going to start on this shelf, and if you're brand new to the challenge, I'm basing a lot of my tidying on the techniques from the Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. That book is linked to down below. Can't recommend it enough. It is so wonderful in my opinion, and it's helped me really figure out how to tidy properly. So the main thing that you do is you collect all similar items in one place, examine the ones that bring you joy and the ones that you really feel like you're going to use, that are useful, and then you discard, you give away, you sell whatever products that you're not using that are not bringing you joy, or you recycle them. So let's go through that. I'll start with this one. I definitely intended on using this, but I think I'm going to pass this on to somebody. It's a beautiful bag of organic ginger, and I haven't opened it. I've had this, it's actually best before this month, so I'm going to give it away at the end of this month. What I've noticed through a lot of research and talking to a lot of people is just because something says it's best by a certain date doesn't mean that it's going to expire. So I'm going to send this to somebody. There'll be tons of info at the end of this challenge on how to acquire things like this, but one of you, if you would like, can get this bag of ginger, and hopefully you'll start using it right away, and you'll store it in a way where it'll stretch its life. But this is a perfect example of something. I think I got this at an event last year, and I thought it was really cool, but I never opened it, so that's being passed on. And I got this turmeric at the same event, so I'm going to do the same thing. I have another jar of ginger powder and another jar of turmeric, and I just feel like I have so many turmeric products, turmeric tabs, turmeric latte mixes, that this would be best given to somebody else. And this one actually says it's best before 2017, so I'll be passing this on to anybody who's okay with it being a little past its prime. Hopefully I don't have to compost it because I don't want that big bag to go to waste. I just got this at an event, and I had some of this today. This is pretty cool. I don't like that it's in plastic. I wanted to try it, but it's not, to me, something that I would buy again. But for those of you who are into things like this is like an organic espresso shot. I thought the packaging was really cool. I just wish it wasn't plastic. So I'm going to use this up and recycle the container. I love these. They may be a little wasteful, so I don't know if I'll buy them again. But I talked about this in another video. I got these on like crazy sale at Grocery Outlet. It was like $3 for this box of 10 cold brew pods, and I love these cold brew pods so much. I just feel like I wish that they weren't as covered in as much plastic, but they taste so good. They make great cold brew, and Chameleon is a nice company in general. It's made in Austin, Texas. It's organic, ethically sourced coffee. They do make a variety of products in glass jars. And in a way, this could be more eco-friendly than a lot of other products. A, the fact that it is organic is great, but B, you can actually use these pods to create your own coffee, what's the term? Coffee concentrate. And so this could be used to kind of stretch the length of time that you're using this coffee. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I really try to avoid things that have a ton of packaging, but it's sad when there's like a really great product that's not packaged super eco-friendly. Maybe one day they'll make this a little bit more eco-friendly packaging. This is an example, and it's one of many products that I have had to come to terms with in terms of why I have held on to it. Talked about this a lot over the course of this challenge, how I am recognizing that there's a lot of products I've held on to simply because they were so great, I didn't want to let them go. And my heart's expanding right now just sharing that with you, so I know this is such an important message, and I hope this inspires some of you to look into your own life and seeing if you're doing this as well. Is there anything that you're afraid to use because you don't want it to end? You don't want to let it go. You don't think you're worth it. You're waiting for another day where you feel like it'd be better, and that day doesn't ever come. Products like this remind me of that, and that's a habit I've had a lot that I'm working on shifting. And this tidying challenge I'm using as like pushing myself into that new version of me. So this product brought me so much joy when I got it. It brings me joy just looking at it, but it's on the old side. It says the best by date was January 2016, so it's past its prime for sure, and I'll have to see if it's even worth consuming anymore. But this was also a pricey product, so another thing that I have had the habit of doing is holding on to things that were expensive, because I was like, but if I use it up and I want more, I have to spend the money again to buy more. And that's such limited thinking. That's basically telling myself that I will not have enough money to buy it again, or it won't exist anymore. It's to me not trusting in the universe and God, if you will, like that you won't be provided for, or that you're going to miss out on something, or you're never going to get something again. That's such a lack mentality that I don't want to have in my life anymore. It's not serving me. It keeps me constricted. It keeps me scared. It's living in fear. And that's just something I notice anytime I come across a product like this that I've kept around and haven't used. So this wonderful chai mix is so fantastic. There's not very much left of it, so I did a good job. One thing that Melanie Joy says in the Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up is that if you don't finish something and you haven't finished it, you can simply just say, well, it served its purpose. And this 100% served its purpose, and I haven't even felt the big desire to have it again. So you know what I think I'm going to do with this? I think I'm going to brew up one more cup of this, see if it still tastes good, because it's way past the best buy date. And then if it doesn't taste good anymore, I'm just going to say thank you for the time that you did taste good, and just see if there's maybe something else that's come into my life since then. I don't even know if the company still makes this. I will link to it. One thing you get when you join the challenge, and I may eventually do in each of the individual videos, is link to all the products I mentioned so that you can get them too if you would like. So this will be on my list of products, and check it out if you can still buy it. So let me check in on some live comments, take a little pause here. Chef Vegan said, what are we talking about today? All about the kitchen. And Kaya said, I save clothes and shoes for that just in case occasion and never end up wearing them until I no longer like them. Guilty as charged, but I deeply purged my closet at the very beginning of this challenge, and it felt awesome. I put like over half my wardrobe into this big bag that I'm going to be selling, donating, giving to other people, doing a clothing swap, and it's going to go to other homes. It's going to go to better places, which is going to allow me to refresh my wardrobe and have clothes that I'm wearing all the time and loving every time I wear them. Every time I put on an item from my closet now, I really have an opportunity to think about if that piece brings me joy. And now I enjoy putting on clothes even more than I've ever have before. So highly recommend going through that process as well. Okay. Next up we have some protein powders from Raw Green Organics. I'm not a big protein powder drinker. I like to try it, but I'm not really that into it. So I'm going to gift these to some friends. They're already open, so I wouldn't want to send it to anyone like you. But, I mean, unless, I don't know. That's just not cool. Like, I don't think it's even sanitary, right? Like, it's one thing if it's a really good friend of yours, but not somebody through the mail, I suppose. And these were also Best Buy, or they were manufactured, I think, in May 2016. These were nice. They're not my favorite protein powders, but I really like a lot of the stuff that Raw Green Organics makes. So these will find another home. One of my protein-loving friends will get those. Then I have some tea, which I'm going to go through later. More protein powders. Ugh, this is really good stuff. I haven't used it that much lately, so let's see. But this is still good. Maybe I'll pass this on to somebody. This is Ohm Energy. This is organic mushroom nutrition. Really, really wonderful alternative to something like Red Bull. It gives you like instant burst of energy. And I probably could have had this today when my energy dropped. I'm just not always in the mood for the orange flavor. It kind of tastes like orange tang, so like a tangy orange soda or something like that. But I'm not super into citrus right now, so I think I'm going to pass this on to somebody else that will enjoy that. Then I have a very small amount of cacao. I think I'm going to transfer this into a different container so that it looks more appealing, because this plastic, it just doesn't call to me. And then I've got some cacao nibs that should be transferred to a smaller container as well. A bunch of superfoods that are well past their prime, so we'll be composting that. And composting this one. Oh, it pains me to do this, but it's just such a good reminder. Like, these expired in 2015, and I do not use them. Every once in a while I'll use them in a smoothie or something, or a dessert, but it's not often enough. This is tapioca starch that I got for a recipe. I think this was last year. I have a feeling this would last a while. Yes, this will last till summer 2019. This is kind of cool. I can't remember what it was. Oh, you know what it was? It was this really delicious fondue from the cookbook. Let me see if I have it. Yes, let me show you. This is one of my favorite vegan cookbooks, Vegan Bowl Attack by Jackie Stobon. You might know her from Vegan Yak Attack. She's a great blogger. And she has a delicious fondue. And I think there might have even been another recipe that she used this for. So this I'll keep around. I have another starch arrowroot that needs to be put in a better package because it's getting all over the place. And I don't know when this expires, but I think this is fairly new. Protein powders that need to be composted. Tea that should also probably be composted. I got these teas in bulk, and they're just like, I never place them in the right containers to be appealing. So that's the other thing. If you buy in bulk, put it in a container that shows it off and that's in plain sight so that you can find it easily. Baking powder. Best used by 2014. But I don't know, does baking powder really go bad? I'm gonna have to check on that one. These guys I just got, I'm really excited about. I love these products from Four Sigmatic. They make all these delicious superfoods. I think they're usually individually packaged though. Again, I kind of wish they were in a jar, and I'm not sure that they are sold that way. Some teas. Ooh, I forgot I was looking for this. Okay. See, I need to organize my tea better, and I haven't figured out the right system for that yet. So if any of you have any good ideas, I've been trying to think of how can I... You're going to see in a moment, there's a lot of tea, and I'm not quite sure how to manage it. Everything's flying. Ooh, I forgot I had these too, these flax seeds. And this protein powder is going to find a new home. All right. So that was that shelf. I'm going to put this stuff back in, the stuff that I'm keeping, and then I'm going to start going through all of my tea with you. But let me check in on the live comments. So Steve says, come to Vegas so we can review White Castle veggie burgers. I'm actually curious about that, and I am planning a trip, a big trip that will include a stop in Vegas, so stay tuned because There'll be probably some opportunities to go to White Castle, even though I don't think it's like super healthy food. I am just curious. Aren't they using the Impossible Burger? It's not my favorite veggie burger, but I do think it's awesome that it's being available at so many great places and making it more accessible to eat vegan burgers that are delicious. Lainey, thanks for being here. And Daxus, thanks for being here. Green Dragon, who asked, are there any electronics that I plan to remove or keep? Not really. There is a television that I rarely use, but I'm not quite sure. It's kind of a pain in the butt, and it's an old TV, but I don't know. It's kind of nice to have it here just in case. I watch most things on my computer, and I also am getting rid of like an old DVD player that I haven't used in years. Aside from that, if you're asking about like cooking stuff, I don't really have that much. So my main things are my computers. I have a HomePod speaker, and then I have like my iPhone and my watch, and not that much else. So not really, is my answer. And Kaya said baking powder gradually stops working. Ooh, that is good to know. I should probably get rid of this then, because I'm not much of a baker, and I'm someone that would probably feel very disappointed and confused if I used this and like the recipe didn't work. So I will buy baking powder in bulk. So maybe I'll just empty out the container and save the container and then fill it up with bulk baking powder when I need it. Okay, time to put some things away, and then we're moving on to the tea, which is going to be a big project. So, gosh, I don't have that much stuff anymore. I might even, for the tea sorting, I may switch things around and put this tea on the lower shelf since I drink tea really often. I think that's what I'm going to do, but not now. I have some stuff to work on. So let's just put back that stuff. I'm going to put the stuff on the floor. All right. This arrowroot powder is getting everywhere. Check on a few more comments here. I am not getting ready to make a run back to Boston. I don't plan on moving back to Boston or Massachusetts, but I do plan on visiting at least once this year. And yes, Steve, I do not know the exact date when I will be in Vegas. I try to go to Vegas at least once a year because I find it can be a really fun experience. If I were to tell you off the top of my head, it'd probably be early to mid-October is when I'm looking at going back there, but I don't know the exact date yet. I promise I will give you as much notice as possible. Okay, let's tackle the tea. Well, maybe I should go through them one by one as I'm bringing them down from the shelf. So one thing I want to do is have some sort of like a drawer. You know how people have those beautiful tea drawers and like you open them up and like everything's perfectly organized? I only have 2 drawers, and I suppose I've always had this one right here, which you can barely see, as kind of like an organizational drawer, but maybe I can shift that and turn this. Oh my gosh, see, this is what you think about when you organize. It's like doing things differently. That feels like such a good idea. I think it would be like a life-changing thing if I think I'm gonna do it, you guys. I don't know where I'm gonna put this stuff, but I don't need it here, so I'll figure it out later. I just organized this drawer earlier today, and I access this drawer all the time because I keep things like napkins and my baking mitt, oven mitt, and sponges and like that, new sponges and rubber bands and that sort of thing. But I feel like this would just be so great as a tea drawer. Unless, maybe I can put some of that stuff in this drawer. But I want a dedicated tea drawer, so that's what I'm going to begin right now. So what I would like to get is either create or go out and buy like the little containers. Like you can get them at the Container Store, places like that. Actually, kind of like this. I got these for my silverware a while back. They're just little bamboo, and let's see. No, these don't fit. So I would get something like this to put all the teas in and line them up. That would be so great. I love that idea. This is going to bring me so much joy, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm going to start by, I don't know if I want to line it up, but I guess I can start by just putting the teas in their containers. So these are, I think, like staples for cold season, as it's called. Yogi tea has these 4 different flavors, and they have different things like echinacea for immune support, throat coat, breathe deep. These are always great for times of year where you tend to get sick pretty often. And then I have this, which I was looking for. I need to figure out a place, like a system for storage for this loose leaf tea. And so maybe I can have a bunch of jars that look similar. I actually just was about to get rid of a bunch of small jars, but maybe I'll keep them and put this in there. And that way each of them could have a little label on the top of them. Imagine them lined up in this drawer, all the loose leaf tea. I love this idea so much. I'm going to do this a little so you can see better. But I'll put this here for now. This is my matcha whisk. I don't know if it wants to find a home in here, but we'll see. Because you got to be careful with these because they're very delicate, and I have not always taken the best care of it. So it really should have like a little container or something. Next, we have a bunch of oh, this is another loose leaf tea. I didn't love this, to be honest, but just because I didn't love it doesn't mean it doesn't serve a purpose. It actually smells really good. It's a sencha tea, so I feel like it's kind of a cross between a matcha flavor and like your typical bagged green tea. So I think I just need to use this because it does make me feel good. And then these, I guess tea makes me so happy. That's why this drawer is going to be the best drawer ever. This is like a tea bag sampler, and it had all these different teas in eco-friendly packaging, and I think most of them were, or almost all of them were organic and or fair trade, and came in this like metal tin, which I can repurpose. I loved this so much. And these guys, I guess I'll mention each of them. This tastes really good. I didn't get super excited about it, but this is organic mulberry tea. It's like a sugar balancer. And Loose Leaf Tea Market actually sponsored one of my videos a year or two, maybe 2 years ago. And they sent me all these great loose leaf functional teas. So like anxiety relief and on and on. And the one that I was looking for was the stomach soother one. So these I definitely want to put in some nice jars. So this is why this drawer is going to make such a big difference for me, is because it makes it so much more accessible versus always trying to like get on my toes and reach. Like sometimes I need a stool to get up there, and I probably will for some of the stuff, just to reach teas, and that makes it literally feel out of my reach and more of a pain. So tea is not as fun and easy, and I want tea to be a part of my daily life. I want to use all these beautiful teas that I have. So once I really organize this drawer, I think it's going to be life-changing. Bunch of random loose leaf teas. So again, like having that nice little little dividers in here. A friend of mine, I went to her house last year and she had the most incredible tea drawer, and she'd opened it up and everything just looks beautiful. It was like color coded. It was so nice. And it makes it easier when you ask people if they want tea. Like, hey, come over and check out my tea drawer. Come select something. So this is another really good one that I kind of forgot about. This is Organic Vision tea from Numi, and it's very stimulating, so it's meant to kind of like get you into a good mental state to work, fostering mindful alertness and improving perception, which I need every single day, so I should be having this all the time. This, I think I'm going to pass on to somebody else because I just don't love this. I really like what Organic India stands for, and their Tulsi. It's very nice, but I don't get excited about this, so I should pass this on to somebody else, like you perhaps. So again, I'm going to be sharing a lot of these products that I'm no longer using with people like you. So at the end of this challenge, and over the course of the next few days, weeks, whenever I finish up the tidying process, then I'm going to start sending out care packages, selling things, donating things, gifting things in all sorts of different ways that I don't even know yet. So I'm going to set aside a few days just to do that. And by signing up for the challenge, again, the link is right down below if you haven't signed up yet. You will get a notification and you'll know what things will be available and how you can get them if you want any of them. So I'll do things like putting together care packages where you get a bunch of different products at once, and maybe even, I'm not going to sell like food products, but I'll be selling things like clothing, or I don't know. I have tons of stuff, so stay tuned because there's going to be a lot going on after I finish going through all my stuff. This I like to have, for those times in your life where things get a little backed up. This is a super colon cleanse. I haven't used it that much. It has already expired. But I don't know, maybe if I put it in the special tea drawer, I'll actually use it. I also have another brand, Smooth Move, in here, which works super well when you need it. Again, I don't know, this may have already expired. And I don't know if it's nearly as effective as it was when I first bought it. Herbs definitely decrease in value over time. So maybe I need to just move on from those, pun intended. So here's some loose leaf tea that I love. I have a few other packets from Tiesta Tea. All of their formulations are so wonderful. They taste great. They make me feel great. I love this brand so much. And another brand that I'm obsessed with is this one. I'm sure you've heard me talk about them if you've been watching my videos. This is a brand that I never want to end. I just want an endless supply of their tea. If I could just pick one tea, it would probably be theirs because it's super convenient. But I love tea so much, it'd be really hard not to choose some others. These are so cool because they're instant tea. You can put this into hot or cold water, and it instantly brews the perfect cup of organic tea. It tastes so good. It's really hard for me to use it because it's one of those brands where I'm just like, I hope that if I just had an endless supply of it, I'd use it every single day. Okay, now we're getting to the section where it's a little hard to reach. So when I'm not using a stool, I'll use like a kitchen utensil to pull it closer to me, which I will no longer have to do now that I have the tea drawer. This is some matcha tea. Another brand that I did not want to use is Kuzmi Tea. I really like their loose leaf tea. They have an organic line called Love, and these are teas that I was sent a long time ago, so they really should be used this year. This is one of the best tasting teas I've ever had, so I held on to it. I didn't want it to end, and it's almost gone. This whole container was full of this tea. It makes the most incredible iced tea. Tiesta tea reminds me a bit of Kuzmi tea in terms of flavors. So I'm going to use these up this year finally and recycle or repurpose the tins. These could be good tins for other loose leaf tea, but I don't like that they're not clear. So I have to decide. I kind of like the idea of having clear glass jars versus tins I can't see through. And then this is just a box of random loose leaf teas. So many brands in here. I'll give a shout out to a couple of them. One is Tea Drops, kind of similar to Pick Tea, or Peak Tea, however you pronounce it. Tea Drops is dissolvable tea, and they come in all these fun shapes. But I don't think they're quite as instant, and you can only put them in hot water, whereas the other tea goes in anything perfectly. And then this brand I discovered a few months ago. It's a super small brand in California. It's called Mendocino Tea Company. And by the way, I will be listing all of these teas, all these products in a giant spreadsheet when you sign up for the Spring Cleaning Challenge, which again is free to join. There's a link in the description. You'll get a listing of every single product I've mentioned this month in case you want to buy it or look into it. So Mendocino Tea makes these delicious, I guess, it was a tuber tonic. It was very, very unique, and they are so passionate about it. And I need to use that up. This drawer is getting full very fast. Oh, here we go. This tea I liked, not super, exciting or special, but it does have a nice amount of caffeine. These teas I bought because they were on sale and don't really love, to be honest, but I'll use them up because I don't think it'll make sense. I guess since I could repurpose these tins. It's kind of cool that they stack on top of each other, but maybe for jewelry or something. I don't know. This could definitely be repurposed in a cool way. You could even cover this with fabric or something. How many of you out there are really crafty? I don't get that excited about doing crafts, but I like the idea of repurposing things. So I wish that was a big passion of mine, because something like this would be really cool to repurpose. I just didn't love these teas, but Zena's in general has some really good formulations. All right. This drawer needs help already. Here's another one of the Tiesta teas. It's delicious. And another one. This one's really, really good. This is cool. I need to take this more regularly. This is a High Priestess New Moon tea. Very, very feminine. And this is cool to take during certain times of month because it can balance your body out. And it also helps to evoke wisdom, serenity, knowledge, and understanding. Maybe this is different than I thought. I always thought it was a good hormonal balance, but maybe this is meant for more clarity and tapping into the universe, which would make this a really good morning ritual tea. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, just a few more to go. It's a tea I borrowed from a friend and haven't returned. Another one of these mini Kusmi teas. This is tea that no longer brings me joy, so I'm going to get rid of it. I went through a phase of really wanting hot cider. I grew up in Massachusetts and really missed the ritual of hot cider in the fall, but I have not really I don't know, it doesn't excite me anymore. And it says best sipped by August 2013. I can't believe how long I've had this. That's going away. I don't really like these, so I'm passing these on to someone else. I love this brand, but I'm not that into hibiscus tea. I much prefer their green teas, so I'm going to pass this on to one of you who likes herbal teas like hibiscus. This tea is a nice complement if any of you ladies usually are struggling with urinary tract health. This works very, very well. There's only a couple of packets in there. This is another tea I'm going to pass on to someone like you who wants some delicious raspberry tea. I'm just not feeling the Tulsi. These don't excite me. This is a brand I really like, Pukka Tea. It's a British tea company. Beautiful packaging. I really enjoy them. I don't get that excited about their teas. I just like the way that they look more than the way that they taste, to be completely honest. I know some of you love this company, so I'm going to pass on some of these teas to you. And then, let's see, there's a couple more. Some turmeric tea I never used. Some more Kushmi tea. And this tea is pretty good. It's very powerful because it's like a black tea. And it's got this nice vanilla blackberry sage. I like it a lot. I thought I was going to love it. Didn't love it, but I still want to use it up. So this is going in the drawer. Wow, look at this. Drawer, once this gets all organized, it's going to be very inviting. I can't believe I never thought to do this. The magic of tidying up brings new clarity to your mind. And now, oh wow, there's still a couple things up there. A little bit more tea. Oh, this is cool. These are Tea Pigs, another very sweet company, and makes some really nice matcha packets. All right, I don't think that there's anything left. Oh, yes, there is. Okay. Daily greens. I'm going to pass this on to somebody else. There's too many green powders out there. I don't want to try them all. And half used energy matrix. If any of you get this, it's very potent. So I usually don't use the whole packet, but sometimes it goes to waste like this. All right, look at this. So much space. What am I going to do with so much space? Well, now I got to figure out how to use all the space, and I'm going to wrap this up today. Whew. All right, so let me see if there are any comments that I missed here. My favorite teas, I would say, oh, Kaya suggested that I make a top 5. Yeah, ideally, I would like to do a lot of things based on what I've learned. If it feels like something I want to do as a project, what I may do is create a PDF sharing all the best lessons, all of my favorite products, and just kind of summarize it all for you in one place to make it a little simpler. Kind of condense all the emails together, the lessons in the videos, products I'm loving. It may take me some time to get to that because I'm working on a lot of things right now, but I love that idea. But at the very least, when you sign up for the challenge, you get access to the spreadsheet. If you haven't looked at the spreadsheet yet, check it out. I'm adding to it whenever I feel inspired to, and so there's already hundreds of products on there that you can go through and check out. Really anything that's on there is something that I find of value, and some of them I'll find some sort of system for highlighting them or starring them so it makes it easier. Actually, some of them, there's like a column, and some of them it says like Whitney's favorite on it, so I'll work on a better system. The spreadsheet is going to take me some time. It's a lot of stuff to put in there, and I hope that it is a benefit to you in some way. Thank you so much for being part of this part of the Tidying Challenge. I accomplished a lot today. What I haven't finished yet is I want to go through this part of my closet, which has, or my kitchen, the cabinets, which has all of my drinking not utensils, but containers and stuff. I have a lot of beverage containers that I'm not using, so I want to donate them or give them to somebody. And I guess that project will happen later today or tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted on that. And just thank you so much for being with me. Even if you didn't join the challenge or don't intend to join the challenge, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Your presence in my life, you're holding me accountable. This challenge has truly been life-changing. It's been magical, just like the book says. It has shifted me in so many great ways. And it's been cool to do these videos because I feel like I've evolved a lot as a person in the past 23 days. Even if it's not super noticeable, it's noticeable to me. So these videos are like a document of, like a video journal of how I'm shifting. So thanks again. I appreciate you. I hope anybody who's on their own tidying, organizational, cleaning journey, I hope it's shifting you in great ways, giving you lots of life-changing experiences and magic in your life and everything that you deserve, everything that you're craving. And I'm here for you. I'm your vegan pal, and I'd love to have you part of the challenge because you also get to join the private Facebook group and connect with me and other amazing people. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be live back here around 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'd love to have you part of the conversation. And let me just answer a few other live questions. Pilgrim says, it's finally nice and warm in New York. I'm very happy to hear that. I have family in Massachusetts, so I'm sure they're super grateful about that. Jan asked, leg split challenge. I have not been able to do a split yet. I injured myself a bit when I did the 30-day yoga challenge, and I was trying to work on my split during that time, but I got to figure out some stuff going on in my hamstrings and my hip. Part of the journey. So I look forward to getting back on track with yoga. Thank you to Veggie Lover for being here. Thank you to Andy who just said hello, and I'll see all of you either live tomorrow or during the recording. Until then, wishing you all the very best, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.